Divine peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Almost 8 days dry fasting, 7 days and a half to be accurate. Some people don't know about dry fasting if they're not in, for example, a dry fasting group, and they may say, why would you do that? Like, aren't you starving yourself? And this is not the video where I'm going to break down about dry fasting. There are so many articles, videos, interviews, research that shows the benefits of healing through dry fasting. You have individuals like the Russian doctor, the renowned Russian doctor, Dr. Filanov, who has healed people and allowed them or supported them in the conditions that are best for healing all types of chronic illnesses. And dry fasting is one of the most powerful means to do that. Of course, as you start going into beyond 5 days, beyond 7 days, beyond 10 days, it is recommended to have medical supervision. I would advise anyone to speak to their doctor, and that is definitely a disclaimer when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, we all have our own inner intelligence and our own ability to feel and to trust and to look at research and then test our body and see, well, what is it capable of and how do I feel under these conditions or under these circumstances. So for me, I've been dry fasting since I'll say since I was a child on some level. And that would be because my parents are Muslim. They converted from Christianity to Islam. And with that, we fast in Ramadan from dawn to dusk, and it is intermittent dry fasting, what we would call that nowadays. So, extended dry fasting is obviously different. It's not the same. I do have my own feelings that if we had a lifestyle where we were eating whole foods, eating of nature, not overeating, and fasting, that we would stay healthy, that we would maintain vibrancy and energy. And oftentimes, when I find that I don't have that energy and I don't have that vibrancy, it's because I'm not applying these prophetic ways of being, these prophetic practices that have been bestowed upon us from those who came before. So, I've had a history of different, I guess you would say, ailments. And some of that, including hormonal, is I'm convinced that I can reverse that by God's will and with using different modalities of healing. And I do believe that fasting is one of them. Fasting and living foods and whole foods and obviously enough sunshine and air and exercise and community, because we're not meant to be alone and we're not meant to do this alone. We're meant to exist interdependently with companionship, with family, with friends, with community. So, yeah, I believe it's all reversible, and that is one of my intentions. I've dry fasted before, 5 days, and that was the longest I had done up until, I guess you would say, a week and a half ago. And yeah, this time was such a blessing. I really felt the blessing and the lightness, and I felt good. That's the best way to say it. I felt good. Toward the end, I did not want to dance, which I was intending to dance every day. I went to a waterfall and I felt great. But I did notice toward the end, my energy was starting to become less when I made an attempt to walk what is called here Champwan Ridge. And I definitely didn't have the energy. So I just brought myself back home. I didn't push myself too much. I brought myself back home. I made an ice bath. And that was day 8 when I decided I'm going to break. The most difficult aspect and the most important aspect when you're doing longer dry fasts is the breaking. I had had the experience of breaking my dry fast at 5 days. And what goes on is it's almost like this explosion happens within you. It's the first time you've put anything in your mouth in a very long time. It's the first time you've drank anything, swallowed anything, chewed anything, had flavor. And so, why you have to be so particular at that particular stage is not just the aspect of course, your stomach is readjusting to digesting, but also the aspect that your brain is lighting up with the flavors. And if you have the wrong combination, for some people, maybe some more than others, it can actually spiral you into a desire to keep having whatever that is over and over and over again. That's what I experienced some time ago when I did 5 days. This time I was determined I am not going to that's not happening. I'm going to stick to water. I'm going to stick to juices. And I should have done that. That was my intention for day 1, day 2. But then this voice, I don't know what it was. It was something in me that was craving spinach. And this spinach soup that I had had like maybe a year and a half or longer ago. And something in me just wanted spinach. Again, I feel in hindsight it would have been better to just have a green juice. But instead, I ordered a blended soup that happened to also have potato. And I just believe that was too heavy. It was too heavy. I thought, well, it's liquidy, it's healthy, but it was too much. It was too much for the first two. Yeah, it was day 2 and 3 and 4, and by then I think my digestion was getting adjusted, and I had some other solids, but I can I can feel that my body is still in an adjustment period. And inshallah, my intention is very soon, if I do a few more days of dry fasting or however long I decide, that I will stick to the liquids a lot longer. I think that that is the best. And yeah, yeah, because it just didn't feel right and it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good. The juices in and of themselves had made me really satisfied, but there was just something in me that was craving that specifically. Now, I am pleased that this time I didn't go into anything crazy with like added sugars or gluten. Nevertheless, I do have goals of each time what I'm going to do. And yeah, I'm just listening to my body. I'm just coming to an awareness and an understanding like what is best for me. What is best for me? And there's certain directions that my body is indicating based on my specific makeup and my I would say insulin resistance that I do have. But we'll see. I'm praying. I'm being guided. I Yeah, it's my journey. So I just felt to share a part of it. So that's it. I did not weigh myself because everyone asked that. How much did you lose? I have no idea. I have no idea. I know that I know what I looked like when I was not intaking any salt. And I know like once I start having things with salt, then there's fluid retention or carbs, there's fluid retention that goes on with that. I'm looking forward to releasing that again. And yeah, we'll see. But lots of love. I pray that this was on some level supportive or beneficial. And have a beautiful day or night, wherever you may be. Peace.